Hello and welcome. This is the first day of the season. Gonna check our manager skills. What we might do is just start with our 6 graduate players, just check their ceilings. This guy's 68. He's got good determination as well. This guy's 66. He's got very good determination. Okay. I mean, not crazy, but good. Trying to think the right order here. What I might do is just set up the youth team and senior team. Yeah, let's do that. So it's going to be Vasquez. I don't know who this guy is. Just we got signed him because we didn't have enough keepers. It's an error on our part. We really should have got one by now. I mean, we were looking for one to graduate generally, but we didn't really see one we were happy with. I guess this guy's still playing DMC. He'll still be left midfielder. I can't remember. Was it Aminu? Alpaslin. Okay, so I think Alpaslin's going to be the cover. Almino will be the stopper, I think. And then this guy played last season, Santalan. He's probably the stopper, actually. Yeah, this guy's the probably like that. I think we had Joe Field on the bench. Gutierrez was going to start. I think at this point it's like, should it be Cabrera or Battaglia? Don't know. I think this guy's got some. I mean, he's okay. Different ceiling's not too great. It's okay. And then I suppose we're still using. Was it Pastore? Yeah. He's just got really good tackling as well. And we had this guy on the bench. I think Benora will also be on the bench. I think we started Moglia last season in central midfielder. Okay, so I guess he's playing in this season. Ideally, Teklakia would be on the bench, but we've got these three guys, but probably this guy, Septura, and yeah, basically we should give up one of these attacking players, I think, and put in a central midfielder. And it should be Takalaki. Okay, I think it should look like this. I mean, it's unlikely we're ever going to want to sell off Gutierrez anyway, at the moment. Okay, I think basically it's just a case of if we can just pick up one awesome old striker at 20 or 21, that's enough. I think we've got a good enough team. We just need one striker. And then Cabrera can come off the bench and we're sorted, I think. Right, our senior team, I think we can just pick the same team as last season. Quickly do that. Okay. So, yeah, nothing much has changed here. To be clear, the reason why, I mean, most of these are just, we've explained a lot. I don't think there's much to explain, to be honest. It's not already been covered a lot. Maybe, just to be clear, we have the player who's faster on this side, because he's more likely to get forwards in time and exploit that space. We're going to sell this guy. Don't know about this guy. Gardelas. Yeah, we got too many strikers, that's for sure. We don't normally sub on those central midfielders because these guys do last the game out, typically. Parmentier for sure should be on the bench. And I guess Gibbons is on the bench. We definitely need another wide midfielder as soon as we get an injury. It's not looking good. Yeah, so for now, I guess we've just got another striker on the bench, and we've just got another central defender on the bench. I think generally speaking, what we want is cover-wise, just a wide midfielder is really the key thing we need. Other than that, maybe just another player who isn't a striker or a goalkeeper. The next thing, I think this guy here, we'll just sell this guy. He's just never going to play. He was just, automatically bought because we didn't have enough players in the youth team last season, so we'll just get rid of him. Right, I think the next thing we'll do is we'll check our manager skills. So we got a bunch of 16, 17, 18, 19. And 23-year-olds, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5, of which 1, 2, 3, 4 we have some interest in. So So I'll just mark them up. So it's 23 and 16, 17, 18, 19. So they're the kind of ones. What I might do is I might just set them all to level 3 for now, because they're cheap anyway. I think the this one is the least important. Alright. So I think at this point, we really got to think what our objectives are. We want to get promoted to the Masters League. So let's pick any skills that'll help us do that this season. So this injury stuff we'll get to there. But I think conditioning, support, maybe. Maybe learning. We do want to get our youth team promoted, so we need to find that striker. So maybe some kind of youth scouting. Maybe some kind of senior scouting. I think the treatment is just, we're fine with that. We don't even need all the levels, but I think if we get them, we do have to bear in mind. I think they're going to help a bit, probably more just point wise than the support. Like all of them are probably better than one level in support for us, I'm thinking. And then realistically, you probably at least get the cheaper extension. We still have a bunch of points to spend. I'd say we'll get the extra graduate slots. We'll get the foresight. We'll get the extra quality. We'll get the extra extensions. We'll get the extra youth scouting. Okay. So the learning didn't feel like we ended up adding positions we didn't really need. I think the support one is the spanner in the works that I'm not quite sure about, to be honest. These, but they're not cost much. Maybe we can sacrifice them if we need some points to get something. Maybe one level in quality. That'd be about 4. That's about, what's that, 6,000 for the training and the one level in quality. We still have 4,600. I mean, it's pretty easy, to be honest. There's way too many skill. Like it's you're really just getting everything. We can easily get everything we actually need, and then we're sort of getting everything we would like, and then we're sort of deciding between and sort of secondary likes almost. The extra auction bid. I'll just save that. What we'll check is the auctions list. I mean, realistically, we can get 2 over this season. I did notice last month we bid loads. I reckon we bid for about 20 players, of which we won 1. So being able to make 2 bids a day could be useful. Just checking if there happen to be 2 players we'd want to bid on today, because if there is, then that's a reason to get the skill. Our guy's pretty decent, but we don't need a striker. that guy's pretty decent, but I don't think we need a DMC that's not great at tackling. We've already got one. I don't mind that guy. He's just generally quite well rounded, and I think just it's weird because he got a lot of stuff in the 70s, but I think he's very well rounded. Like, he's fast enough, got enough work rate, strong enough, good enough in the air, good enough passing and vision, ideally, good enough finishing long shots, etc. He's just quite well rounded for what we need. I don't know if we'd want to pay 8 million. I don't think there'd be a lot of competition for this guy. There's a chance we'd get him. This guy's alright as well. Marking's not great, I think, which means he'll want to be the stopper for us, but for the stopper always tackling's probably not good enough. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, if there's even any players we want to bid for. Like, I feel like this guy we could go for, but let's just compare him. I think ultimately he's being compared to this guy. He's a bit better. He's a bit better in the air, a bit faster, better long shots. I think it's just been that little bit better in the more than a bit better in the air, faster. Having said that, I don't think he's more well-rounded generally as well. Shouldn't be understated. He's 53 overall. The other guy was more than that, I'm sure. I think significantly so. Oh no. What is it? What is that? 52. Oh no. So he wasn't. He's no, it's not that guy. Wrong list. Player auctions. Not that guy. It's like a 62. Yeah, so he's 9 average attributes points higher, which is quite a bit. He's materially better. Having said that, like, player auctions, I think he was the only one that we're that bothered about. There's probably other guys that we could bid for, but we just don't have that much money to speculate, to be honest, like for players that we're not overly enthusiastic about. I think the criterion to buy any player is that they have to basically be guaranteed to start if they're available. This guy may be something, but we don't use these positions, but we could add a position. Requires adding a position. Plus his passing just isn't quite good enough. It's a limitation for our style of football. We want the passing to be high, which automatically, as you can see, is just eliminating a lot of players. Any midfield type player, we also want it to be very good at tackling, which is eliminating light and passing, eliminating loads of players. and box to box, right? So, and goal scoring. So it really is. And we don't need strikers. I think part of it is there was a few good strikers here, but we're not bothered about them. So I think I'm just going to bid for this guy so I don't forget. Just something like this. Okay. Make sure you catch that it's registered when you do it, and you should see it appear here. So we bid a bit more. Again, I'm okay to miss out on this guy. He's not perfect. Like his controls, like they're never going to be. No one is ever going to be perfect per se. He's quite good, but I'm okay to miss out. I only really want to get him because of to get him for a reasonable price. I don't want to overpay for him. We just don't have the money, and I'm sure there'll be other opportunities. We really need a wide midfielder because I think part of it is wide midfielders are a bit. Yeah, we need a wide midfielder as well. That's the other main thing we need. We'll just quickly check our... no, no point to check the scouter players because we'll get more with the manager skills. So I don't think we need the extra skill in negotiation, to be honest. We don't need that. That's basically as well. That went... The injection... We were getting the previous seasons. It's finally not that big a deal if we miss out on the cash. It's okay. I wouldn't understate that it's useful. I just think we don't really care about the support that much. I really don't know how much we're going to struggle. I mean, if we don't end up getting promoted this season, I guess next season we're getting level 3 in it. I still feel like we just... Obviously we'll be losing sometimes. I definitely feel like the conditioning and the treatment's going to be more useful. And the cash, just being able to potentially pick up an extra good player could help a lot. And I think the scouting... Let's have a look. Like realistically, if we go, what we can do is we can go to transfers in, and we can see for like all of last season who we brought in. So we got this keeper from the scouting pool. We got this guy from the scouting pool. His youth. We got him from the auctions. He's from the scouting pool, and his youth. So we bought 3 senior players, one of which was like really key. And one of which, well, he was the backup keeper. He could have been really key if we got an injury to our keeper, but we didn't. So, this guy ended up playing loads. Like 27 starts, 5. He really, really well. This guy was really important. So, it's still possible we can pick up the players from the scouting pool. I think the issue is that it's a lot of points. We don't really need... We just need the youth striker, to be honest. We don't really need other youth players. This is part of the problem as well. So I think we just won't bother getting the more expensive levels for either of them. One to all your player attribute points. So it gives 1 overall to all your players whenever you're losing. Level 3 is obviously significant. And if you're battling against relegation, there's probably a must-have skill at level 3 if you're planning for a relegation fight. But we're not. We're planning for a promotion fight. I just don't know what the value there is. We can get an extra learning. Now we don't really need all those extra positions though. Last season we were just adding them, so I don't think we needed that much. We could get that for sure. Okay, and that equals our points exactly. I think this is what we will get. I think just the question is, instead of this 8, we're not that desperate to have to sell players. We've got some cash. We're more interested to buy players. We're not going to be over the dividend threshold. This doesn't matter. For for us, if you're playing the game, obviously, because we're going to end our run when we get to the Masters League, and we're going to do that before 15 seasons time, but if you're playing super long term, it's actually very good. This type of stuff, the discipline, the prevention, the durability, that stuff we can manage okay ourselves. I feel like maybe that's the thing, right? Like, realistically, like, if you're talking about turning 1 or 2 losses, or 3, 1 or 2 or 3 losses, I don't know. It's hard to say, but let's just go with it. Let's say it's 2 matches. 2 matches in the whole season that this makes a difference. And you end up getting 2 draws instead of 2 losses. And you win one of those 2 penalty shootouts. So you get 3 points. That was about what our youth team missed out by last season. It was a bit more, but we ended up we'd already not got promoted before last match, so we weren't too bothered about the final matches. But I feel like if we had 3 more points going into those last matches, 50-50 we would have got promoted, something like that. Let's get it, because I feel like it could be close, and if it is worth 3 points for a team that's generally not losing over the course of a season, it's really hard to quantify. I'm sure it would be worth that if it was level 3, 100% for sure, or if you were constantly losing. I think part of the problem is we don't really know how well we're going to challenge. Let's just get it. If nothing else, it'll help our youth team get promoted this season, because I'm sure if they do miss out, it will only be by a few points, so that could give them a few extra points. Okay. I feel like we're just going to finalise this. Yeah, let's just finalise these. Okay, so we've done our skills. Now what we can do is we can check our scouted players. We might check our transfer bits first. Actually. Oh, we didn't have any. Okay. Okay. Check our scouted players, swap our position. We're just scanning for the tackling. And now we're scanning for the passing and for the more midfield type players. This guy was alright, but he's only got 42 tackling, so we just scanned for the passing. This guy's alright, but he's just not an upgrade on what we got, I don't think. So is that guy also just not quite an upgrade on what we got? And this guy's alright, but again, he's just not quite an upgrade. Some very close stuff though. I just don't really need a striker unless they're youth. Okay. We've got our academy trialists. First day is always the longest with this. Alright. It's 40 overall. He's probably staying in. He's only got 45 passing, but yeah. This guy's probably out. This guy's only got 18 speed and 27. He's out. This guy's probably in. This guy, 50 tackling, speed is next. Good endurance, good strength. He's probably in. This guy's only 14 tackling. He's probably out. 49 overall, huge. 44 speed, finishing miles off. Some generally good stuff. We'll put him in if we need. A player, probably pass on him. Probably pass on him. Say, pass on him because his speed's too far off. Pass on him because I think just generally his composure and long shots are not even at all. His finishing is a long way off. Combined with not seeing particularly good stuff. This guy, I think his tackling's just too far off. Doesn't play that. We don't use that position. Only 37 finishing. Speed too far off. Passing too far off. Passing too far off. Tackling too far off. Tackling too far off. Too low speed tackling. Too low tackling. Finishing too far off. Tackling too far off. Tackling too far off. Speed's only 16. And just too low overall. So actually, we said we'll put him in. Definitely don't want that guy. We definitely want that guy out. That guy can stay. That guy can stay. Maybe we move out him. He could go in. He's finishing soon, and then composure. It's not ideal to wait for the speed, but gotta wait for something, right? This guy, it said it's not ideal that his long shots and composure are too far off, but his determination is next, and his speed is soon. So he could be in. These two strikers could be in. Finishing is a bit low there. Alright, so those two strikers could be in. We'll leave him in. We'll leave him in. He's out for one of the two strikers. And this guy, I think we just take this guy out. Probably not interested in any midfielders that only got 14 tackling, generally speaking, so let's just get him out for this other... Was it the striker? I think so. We're saying his finishing composure was soon. So, yeah, let's just... Okay, cool. Alright, so we're right there. Oh, okay. And the training options... Catania. So it's probably just this one. We're not too bothered about the long shots. That's the only thing that's better on that side. This one. This side is just better. This is a guy we're thinking about selling though, so still got a bit better though. Still getting a bit better. Starting keeper. This guy, right? He's quick. He's finally a bit slower, but he gets. We can get a control, a determination, a composure, and 3 strength. Probably. We'll do this one. Garavas. Alright, so, yes. Gonna get worse. The movement doesn't really matter. So... it's probably this one though, even though the movement doesn't matter, but I still don't really want to lose the aerial ability. The flare doesn't really matter either, so I think it's this one, just because losing the natural he does start a lot. Maybe that natural fitness matters. Okay, maybe it's this one. Just don't want to lose that natural fitness. Because he was starting a lot. Okay. This guy, probably want the extra tackling if we can. Crossing doesn't matter. Positioning matters. Marking, same. Okay, it's this one anyway with all that extra speed. And the extra tackling, this guy, they're all zeros. Flare doesn't really matter. Marking does. Alright, let's take the marking. Aminu, we like the extra passing. We like the extra positioning. We like the extra marking. On the whole, it's probably just, I think this one, it's got the extra bit of control, the one extra marking, and the two extra passing versus the long shots, which really don't matter. The extra positioning does matter a bit, obviously. The natural fitness matters, but I think on the whole, we'll take A. For him, this guy, it's just going to be this one, but we'll just notice his work rate has gone down 2. His crossing's gone up 2, that doesn't really matter. Vision +3, does matter. This guy, we really wanted him to get some extra strength, but he hasn't. Crossing matters, control matters. It's just this one anyway, it's a bit better, but he does get a bit better player. Take Lark here. Flare, agility, aerial ability, natural fitness, flare, finish. I think we'll take this, even though this one does have the contract extension, but we'll go for this one. This guy, 5 speed, 6 speed. Well, okay, so long shots matters. 3, it gets better with long shots and finishing and movement, but on this side you get the flare, the 1 extra speed, the 2 extra aerial ability. I do like the speed and the aerial ability. The aerial ability doesn't matter as much because it's not too high, and yeah, I think we are just going to go for this one though. Really don't know. I think we're going to go for this one. This guy we're just not going to keep around, but we'll just get, it's basically a long shots or an aerial ability. It's probably the long shots. +5, +4 speed, whatever it is. Positioning matters. The control matters a bit. Crossing doesn't really matter. We're going to go for this one though. Get that extra positioning and that 1 extra speed. This guy, right, 2 speed down either way. Long shots doesn't matter. It's not, for me, he does get the odd one. Matters a little bit. The finishing matters a bit. I think, is he up on corners? Not that much, so the work rate doesn't matter too much. Basically, losing the speed and the tackling matters, and the control matters. They're the most important 3, and they're all the same in both options. And then you're saying, basically, what outside of that, it's like 1. I guess we'll just take this one, because this side you're basically losing. Oh no, you're losing an extra work rate. It's this side, I think. No, yeah, I think it's this side, right? Because this side you're losing an extra work rate, and you have 1 less work rate, 1 more finishing, 1 less long shots. I think on the whole, I think the long shots and the work rate is probably a bit better than the finishing. And this guy, don't know what kind of future he has for the first team, but he's playing this left midfielder, more attacking role. He's totally exhausted every match. That endurance would be nice. The marking doesn't really matter. It's not really ever going to be a DC, so the marking doesn't really matter. The crossing does matter. Yeah, I think we just got to go for this one, because you get that extra long shots. Not that it matters too much either, but he might end up playing striker a bit, but it's already really low anyway. But basically, you just want that extra endurance. That's the main thing. It's going to help the youth team a lot. So, right. So we picked them. And I think we are done, finally. So what's our season expectations? For the youth, we want to get promoted. We just missed out, but our team should be more competitive this season because last season our players were really young. They're all sort of 18 or less, except for a couple that we bought right near the end of the season. There's a last-ditch attempt to try and get promoted, but it didn't quite work. This season, all the players are 1 year older, so I'd expect if we can pick up one good youth player to help our team, who's around 20 or 21, I expect we'll get promoted. We may even get promoted without that player, possibly. The senior team, don't know, to be honest. Last season I thought would be difficult. It ended up being not difficult. This season I think will be difficult. So we're going to go for promotion. We picked our skills before, expecting, the support, for example, expecting we'll be losing sometimes, expecting that might make a difference. So we got a bit of cash. It's possible we can get a couple of players. So I think on the whole our expectations are to get promoted for the youth, although I don't think it'll be a walk in the park, but I think we should be able to do it. And for the senior, just cautiously optimistic that hopefully we'll get promoted, but we'll see, honestly. Like I said, I think it'll be difficult. But I thought that last season. I thought it would be a bit more difficult, but I'm more sure it's going to be difficult this season. So anyway, we'll make a go of it, and might make for more interesting content with the matches. So yeah, all right. Cheers. Thanks for watching. This is our first video of the season. Our team, our expectations. We're going with the same tactic. The youth we might end up tinkering a bit. We'll review that tomorrow. For now it's a bit late for us. So yeah, I think we're done for the day. So cheers. Thanks for watching.